Welcome to Sports Live Media on YouTube. It's your guy Sports Live broadcasting live today, December 2nd, 2025. This today will be a combined live stream of college football picks, my perspective, along with NFL picks, my perspective. For college football, it is week 15, which is the conference championships in Division One. There will be other football stuff which we'll go over at that time. You also have in those conference championships 9 games total that will be taking place, 4 of which will take place on Friday, December 5th. Two of them will kick off around 6 p.m. and the other two around 7 p.m. On Saturday, December 6th, game kickoff time. So you have one at 11 a.m., one at 3 p.m., and then the remaining two will kick off around 7 p.m. Again, there'll be 9 total games of over 2 days. On the NFL side of things, this is going to be regular season games for Week 14. We will have other college football stuff that we will talk about, but I'll get to that when we get there. In this live stream, we will first look at the Associated Press Top 25 poll. After this, we will look at who will be playing in the Division One college football conference championships. We'll go over what the pros in Vegas say the margin of victory or point spread is, along with the over/under. If I agree or disagree with the pros, I'll do the best I can to explain my reasoning. The point spread or margin of victory is what the pros believe the team who wins the game will win by in points. The over/under is the total combined points the pros believe will be the combined score of that game in total points. Both teams uh, will score in the game. Both teams will score in the game of question. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Normally, after this, we will do what is called Game of Intrigue, where we would look at a game that is not in the top 25 for either team and find things relating to them, sports related or not. That part of the live stream here will not take place. In its place, I will go over who is playing in college football in NCAA Division One FCS and NCAA Division Two and Three, and I'll make picks on who I think will win the game with no additional analysis. After we finish the college football stuff, we will move into the NFL side of things, where I will go over who, along with any other pertinent information. I will go over what the pros say is the margin of victory and make my picks for who will win those games with no additional analysis. To kick this live stream off, let's look at the AP poll top 25 this week. Number one, Ohio State. Number two, Indiana. Number three, Georgia. Number four, Oregon. Number five, Texas Tech. Number six, Ole Miss. Number seven, Texas A&M. Number eight, Oklahoma. Number nine, Notre Dame. Number 10, Alabama. Number 11, BYU. Number 12, Miami and Florida. Number 13, Vanderbilt. Number 14, Texas. Number 15, Utah. Number 16, Virginia. Number 17, USC. Number 18, Michigan. Number 19, James Madison. Number 20, North Texas. Number 21, Tulane. Number 22, Arizona. Number 23, Navy. Number 24, Georgia Tech. Number 25, Missouri. The first game we will look at this week is the Conference USA game that will take place between Jacksonville State University and Kennesaw State. In this game, the pros favor Jacksonville State to defeat Kennesaw State in a too close to call match by 1.5 or 2 points. The over-under is 58.5 or 59. Jacksonville State has unusual style of offense in that they score early and then coast to win the game late in the game. They don't try to dominate, but they do get things done. They need to be careful of complacency. Offense does good on rushing and is below average on passing. Overall, below average. On defense, they do good in red zone protection and okay with the line. Perimeter needs work. Special teams has tricks up their sleeve. Kennesaw State is average in all areas of offense in the pass and rush. Uh, the potential issue I see in defense, especially playing, basically the thing I see the problem with is plugging holes on the field during live play. Both teams need to tweak the the other areas of defense in order to be successful. Kennesaw State has special teams. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. You never know when greatness comes or if they eat dust in the wind. I believe due to these things to make note of that I make note of, it will be a close game. For these reasons, I will agree with the pros on this game. Jacksonville State defeats Kennesaw State by 2 points. I will go under the 59. The next game we will look at is in the Sun Belt Conference championship game between James Madison and Troy. In this game, the pros favor James Madison to defeat Troy by 22.5 or 23 points. The over-under is 47.5 or 48. Troy has hard time in defense in red zone protection and the line. The perimeter does okay, but has their moments of absolute bad. So I rank the defense below average. On offense, it seems like they have hard time driving the ball down the field on passing, and rushing is okay. The rushing does make big plays, uh, which they do occur from time to time. So slightly below average overall. James Madison is slow in rushing, but makes up for it with decent passing. Defense is average in how they handle things with perimeter and line protection. They do excel in red zone protection. Special teams are excellent for James Madison. On paper, James Madison looks to defeat Troy in big way. For these reasons, I agree with the pros having James Madison to win the game, but I disagree on the margin of victory. My prediction is that James Madison defeats Troy by 14 points, not the 23 the pros say. I will go over the 48. And hello to every one of you who have joined me for this broadcast today. I'm having trouble seeing who it is specifically, but if you did join this live stream, uh, you may have to say something a few times for me to get, to see it. But thank you for joining me, each and every one of you who's joined me today. It is greatly appreciated. Next game we're going to look at is the American Conference Championship game between North Texas and Tulane. In this game, the pros favor North Texas to defeat Tulane by 2.5 or 3 points. The over-under is 67.5 or 68. Tulane, in their last game, did average on offense on both the run and pass plays. On defense, it was stellar in all areas, including red zone, line, and perimeter. I do see potential issue with the time it takes to plug holes during live play on the field. I know I've mentioned that earlier, but this is just one of those things that I do notice. North Texas has no issue scoring quickly and doing so with lots of passing on offense. Um, Defense is average in all areas. I think um, I think Tulane has better special teams. So for those reasons, I will completely disagree with the pros in this game. I believe Tulane will be the better team. My prediction is that Tulane defeats North Texas by 4 points. I will go under the 68. I think that number for the over-under is a little high. I know both teams are known for scoring points, but I do not believe that it will be that many points. Next game we're going to look at is UNLV versus Boise State. In this game, the pros favor Boise State to defeat UNLV by 3.5 or 4 points. The over-under is 57.5 or 58. All right. Boise State is okay on the rush and average on passing, so offense is average. Defense in all areas is below average, with more emphasis on bad red zone protection. Boise State does an awful job of protecting red zone, and this may come to bite them. UNLV recently has been above average on offense with great execution both on the rush and the pass plays. Defense needs to work on perimeter protection, but everything else has been above average, so average as a whole. I believe UNLV is better than Boise State. And with these thoughts, I'm going to completely disagree with the pros in this game. My prediction is that UNLV will defeat Boise State by 3 points. I will go over the 58. Boise State versus UNLV will be for the Mountain West Conference Championship. Next game we're going to look at this week is the Big 12 Conference Championship game between BYU and Texas Tech. In this game, the pros favor Texas Tech to defeat BYU by 13.5 or 14 points. The over-under is 50.5 or 51. BYU in their last game had above-average offense due to stellar passing and above-average rushing. Defense was average due to lower than normal red zone protection. The perimeter and line were fine. BYU plays good offense with the RPO. Texas Tech is slow in rushing, but makes up for it in passing, so above average there. Defense is slightly above average, but it needs to tweak uh, the perimeter for better protection. The red zone protection is decent. Due to strong defense, I believe that Texas Tech is the better team. A saving grace for BYU is superb special teams. I do agree with the pros having Texas Tech to win this game over BYU, but I disagree with the margin of victory. My prediction is that Texas Tech will defeat BYU by 9 points. I will go over 51. Both teams should score a lot of points. That's just kind of a given on that one. All right. Let's move on. The next game we will look at is the Mid-America Conference Championship game between Miami and Ohio and Western Michigan. In this game, the pros favor Western Michigan to defeat Miami and Ohio by 2.5 or 3 points. The over-under is 43.5 or 44. Miami and Ohio on offense is average on both rushing and passing. On defense, it is slightly below average due to lack of line protection, red zone protection, and everything else. The perimeter looks okay, but does need minor tweaking. Western Michigan on all avenues of offense looks average in rushing and passing. The defense is also average, which is needing work on red zone protection and filling holes as they come up in field during live play. There's not really much else to say on this game, except I believe Miami and Ohio has advantage due to the good quality of their special teams. For these reasons, I will disagree completely with the pros of this game. My prediction is that Miami and Ohio defeats Western Michigan by 3 points. I will go over the 49. Next game we're going to look at this week is Georgia versus Alabama in the Southeastern Conference Championship game. In this game, the pros favor Georgia to defeat Alabama by 2.5 or 3 points. The over-under is 47.5 or 48. For Georgia, in the wins, or the one loss, when it comes to top 25 ranked teams, it has been an epic struggle to win. Georgia is not playing as good as they had been in years prior. Offense and defense both is below average due to the real struggle. Rushing is decent. Pass needs work on offense. Everything on defense, such as the red zone protection, line, and perimeter, need to find ways to be strong again, because late it's been flat, which is bad even for modern Georgia standards. Alabama, like Georgia, is below average everywhere and hasn't struggled this bad in a while. Offense is barely average and defense is below average due to nearly collapsing late in most games, especially here recently. Special teams is generally efficient, but not in the field goal kicking, especially if you're Alabama and even sometimes Georgia. Let's see. These errors or on consistency on both sides will keep it close. However, I do believe that despite these struggles, Georgia has the upper hand. For these reasons, I'm going to agree with the pros on this game. Georgia wins the game by 3 points over Alabama, and I will go under the 48. I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. The next game we're going to look at this week is Ohio State versus Indiana in the Big Ten Conference Championship game. In this game, the pros favor Ohio State to defeat Indiana by 4.5 or 5 points. The over-under is 48.5 or 49. Both teams are above average on defense and does great holding the line and perimeter. In terms of red zone protection, both teams are decent. For both teams, not much gets by when other team is in the red zone. In terms of offense, both teams are slightly above average with exceptions. Indiana is amazing in the rush, where Ohio State is amazing in the pass area. Both teams are also good in special teams, including the long punts when or if they're needed. This game is hard to call since both seem almost equally matched. I'm going to throw in a monkey wrench. I disagree with the pros on this game. I think Indiana is the better team. My prediction, Indiana wins the game
over Ohio State by 3 points. I will go under the 49. This game looks to be a preview of things to come. Both teams should make the regular playoffs. Outside of this game, I think it's very possible the two may end up playing each other again during that time. The last game we're going to look at in-depth analysis is the Atlantic Coastal Conference Championship game, or ACC Conference Championship game, between Duke and Virginia. In the game, the pros favor Virginia to beat Duke by 3.5 or 4 points. Duke football played Virginia earlier in the season and it did not fare well against them. Duke has haphazard offense, meaning it's like the car that has trouble starting. Once it does get cranked, will it sputter later and die, or will it keep going? Depending on the day or the time of day it is, it's anyone's guess. This description describes Duke football in all areas of offense and defense. Because of this, it's very hard to grade on offense and defense, like other games. Virginia is out to prove a point and has decent offense and defense. I know there's not much really to say on this game, but I'm okay with that. For these reasons, I'm going to agree with the pros on this game. Virginia defeats Duke by 4 points. I will say Duke can punt the ball good, but it won't help. The over-under is 57.5 or 58, and I'm going to go under the 58. So, just real quick, before moving on to the NFL side of things, let's look at the Associated Press top 25 teams one more time. And in that top 25, you have number 1, Ohio State, number 2, Indiana, number 3, Georgia, number 4, Oregon, number 5, Texas Tech, number 6, Ole Miss, number 7, Texas A&M, number 8, Oklahoma, number 9, Notre Dame, number 10, Alabama, number 11, BYU, number 12, Miami and Florida, number 13, Vanderbilt, number 14, Texas, number 15, Utah, number 16, Virginia, number 17, USC, number 18, Michigan, number 13 is Vanderbilt, number 19 is James Madison, number 20 is North Texas, number 21 is Tulane, number 22, Arizona, number 23, Navy, number 24, Georgia Tech, number 25 is Missouri. Now, I do know that when it comes to playing for a national championship, which that will come later, they use a separate poll called the College Football Playoff. That's a separate poll. I do not use the poll. I do not use that poll as a means for discussion when we're discussing these college football games. I use the Associated Press poll since that poll has been around the longest. Now, before moving on to the NFL, let's look at who is playing in NCAA Division I FCS football, and I will make my picks accordingly. You have Villanova versus Lehigh. I have Villanova to win that game. You have South Dakota playing Mercer. I have Mercer defeating South Dakota. You have Illinois State versus North Dakota State, and I have North Dakota State winning that game. You have Abilene Christian versus Stephen F. Austin. I have Abilene Christian defeating Stephen F. Austin. You have North Dakota playing Tarleton State, and I have Tarleton State defeating North Dakota. You have Prairie View A&M playing Jackson State. I have Jackson State to defeat Prairie View A&M. Hello to you, each and every one of you that's come in. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. You have Prairie View A&M versus Jackson State. I'm going to pick Jackson State to defeat Prairie View A&M. You have Yale versus Montana State. I appreciate that. I think Yale's going to beat Montana State. You have Montana versus South Dakota State. I have Montana defeating South Dakota State. You have Rhode Island versus UC Davis, and I have Rhode Island over UC Davis. Now, in the NCAA Division II and III realm, their playoffs are still going on. So you have Frostburg State versus Kutztown. I have Kutztown winning that game. You have John Carroll versus Mount Union. I have John Carroll winning that one. No, that is not the high school, but that is a university in Division II or III. You have Salisbury University playing James Hopkins University. I'm going Salisbury University. You have Eastern University versus Susquehanna. I'm going to have Eastern University beat Susquehanna. You have Minnesota State playing Ferris State. I have Ferris State defeating Minnesota State. You have Newberry versus Albany State. I have Albany State defeating Newberry. You have West Texas A&M versus Arkansas Tech. I have West Texas A&M. You have DePaul versus Wheaton. I will pick DePaul over Wheaton. You have St. John's in Minnesota versus Wisconsin River Falls. Sorry, I'm going to go St. John's in Minnesota. You have Wisconsin La Crosse versus North Central College. I'm going to go North Central College to win that one. You have Wisconsin Platteville versus Bethel in Minnesota. I'm going to go Bethel in Minnesota over Wisconsin Platteville. You have Trinity in Texas versus Berry College. I'm going to go Trinity in Texas over Berry College. You have Harding University versus UT Permian Basin. I'm going to go Harding University over UT Permian Basin. And you have Upper Iowa versus Hillsdale. And I'm going to go Upper Iowa over Hillsdale. Now, here's the NFL side of things. We're going to move on to that. Hello to you, each and every one of you who's come in this chat today. I do greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And if I don't shout you out, it's not that I didn't see you. I do see you. It's just I'm having trouble seeing my screen at the moment. So I do apologize for that. So, in the NFL realm of things, you have Dallas versus Detroit. And that game is this Thursday. In that game, that game's on Thursday. The pros have Detroit favored to win that one by 3.5 or 4 points, and the over/under is 54.5 or 55. Then you have on Sunday, you have the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. The Dolphins Miami is favored to win that game by 3 over the New York Jets. The over/under is 41.5 or 42. You have Seattle versus Atlanta. Seattle's favored to win by the pros over Atlanta by 4. The over/under is 43.5 or 44. You have New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored to win that game by 7.5 or 8 points. And the over/under is 42.5 or 43. You have Washington versus Minnesota. In that game, Minnesota is favored to win by 2 points over Washington. The over/under is 43.5 or 44. You have, Indianapolis versus Jacksonville. Indianapolis is favored to win that game by 3 points from the pros. The over/under is 48.5 or 49. You have Pittsburgh versus Baltimore. The pros favor Baltimore to win that game by 6.5 or 7 points. The over/under is 46.5 or 47. And within those games, I'm going to go ahead and make my picks. So I have Detroit beating Dallas, and I'm going to go over the 55. I have Miami defeating the New York Jets, and I'm going to go over the 42. I have Seattle winning the game, not by 8 points, but by 4 points, and I'm going over the 43, or over the 44, I'm sorry. In the Tampa Bay-New Orleans game, I do agree Tampa Bay wins the game, but I do not agree with the margin. The margin they have is 8 points. I think it'll be 3 points, and I'm going to go under the 42, or under the 43, rather. In the Washington-Minnesota game, I agree with the pros on that one. Minnesota wins the game by 2. I'm going under the 42, or I'm under the 44, sorry. In the Indianapolis-Jacksonville game, I agree with the pros on that one. Indianapolis defeats Jacksonville by 3, and I'm going to go under the 49. In the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, I do agree Baltimore wins the game, but I do not agree with the margin of the 6.5 or 7. I think Baltimore wins by 3, and I'm going under the 47. Now, let's move on. We have Cincinnati versus Buffalo. The pros have they have Buffalo winning that one by 5.5 or 6. The over under is 54.5. In the Denver game versus Las Vegas, the pros favor Denver to defeat Las Vegas by 7.5 or 8, and the over under is 40.5. You have the Chicago playing Green Bay by 5.5 or 6 points. The over under is 46.5 or 47. You have the Los Angeles Rams versus Arizona, and in that game, Los Angeles Rams is favored to win that game by 8.5 or 9 points. The over under is 47.5 or 48. You have Houston versus Kansas City. In that game, Kansas City is favored to win that game by 4.5 or 5 points. The over-under is 42.5 or 43. You have Philadelphia versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And in that game, Philadelphia is favored to win by 2.5 or 3 points. The over-under is 43.5. So, in my picks, I have Buffalo winning the game over Cincinnati, but I do not agree with the margin. I do not think it'll be 6 points. I think it'll be 2 points. So 2-point win, Buffalo over Cincinnati, and I'm going over the 55. In the Denver-Las Vegas game, the pros favor Denver to win that game. I'm going to completely disagree with the pros on that one, and I have Las Vegas winning that game by 3, and I'm going to go over the 41. In Chicago versus Green Bay, I agree with the pros on that game. Green Bay will defeat Chicago by 6, and I'm going under the 47. You have the pros favoring Los Angeles Rams to defeat Arizona by 8.5 or 9 points. I do agree Los Angeles Rams wins the game, but I don't agree with the margin. I think it'll be a 5-point win for the Los Angeles Rams over Arizona, and I'm going to go over the 48. You have Houston versus Kansas City. In that game, the pros favor Kansas City to win that game by 5. I do agree with Kansas City winning the game, but I do not think it'll be a 5-point margin. I think Kansas City wins the game by 2, and I'm going to go over the 43. You have Philadelphia versus the Los Angeles Chargers. The pros have Philadelphia winning that game by 3. I agree with that, and I'm going to go over the 44. This week you have a bye week in the NFL for New England, the New York Giants, San Francisco, and Carolina. Those teams do not have a game scheduled today since they have a week off. So there you have it. That is my college football picks for Week 15. We have some picks regarding NCAA Division I FCS, NCAA Division II and III. We also have the NFL picks, my perspective, based on those games that you heard me talk about. So does anybody have any questions regarding what I've gone over today? Normally I do these streams kind of outside. It's just I wanted to change the scenery today, so that's what we did, and that's what we're going to go with. I do thank each and every one of you for joining me for this live stream today. I do greatly appreciate it. Just a word of note. College football regular season has finished, and we are done with regular season of college football, and we just went over the analysis for the college football conference championships. There's only 9 of those games. We will resume college football picks next week, and in that we'll have the regular season game of Army versus Navy. We'll have bowl games that we'll go over regarding all bowl games through the quarterfinals. For sure. We will also we might do a regular video with just the, when it comes to semifinals, there might not be enough other information. I might make that like a regular sports update or something. We'll have a special live stream regarding college football when it comes to the national championship for Division I. So that's looking ahead for college football. On the NFL side of things, we will continue to talk NFL football during the regular season. I'm not sure how we're going to do the playoffs yet. When it gets to that point, we will also have a special live stream regarding the Super Bowl for NFL football. And for the foreseeable future, we will be doing streams on Wednesdays, the Hoops and Pucks and Wednesdays, oh my, live stream. And basically, in that, we'll talk college basketball for the men and women. We'll talk NBA basketball. We'll talk NBA G League basketball, and we'll talk about NHL hockey. The Wednesdays part of that is all games that we discuss within those sports will take place on Wednesday. I will also mention, and I'll mention this after the Wednesday live stream, but Saturday we will have a special live stream. I can't really go into the details of that special live stream yet, but that special live stream will take place on Saturday, weather permitting. So check back tomorrow after the Hoops and Pucks and Wednesdays Oh My live stream, where I can discuss how that's going to work on Saturday. Anyway, I thank you very much for joining me. And let's see. Daniel, I appreciate you joining me today. Noel, I appreciate you joining me. I thank you very much for joining me, for each and every one of you that have. That's really all I've got to discuss today regarding college football and NFL football for today. Thank you again for tuning into this broadcast today. I do greatly appreciate it. If you will, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the notification bell so you can be made aware of when I'm doing these live streams, when I have sports action videos, when I have sports education videos, again, when I broadcast live, or when I have breaking news in the sports world. If you wish to subscribe to the channel, it is greatly appreciated, and I do appreciate each and every one of you for doing so. But you can do so in two ways. One, you can go to www.youtube.com, the slash symbol, the at symbol, SPORTSLOV. Or you can go on the YouTube search tab and type in Sportslov Media as two words, SPORTSLOV as the first word, media, MEDIA as the second word. You'll know it's me because I will have Sportslov Media burned into a basketball as my avatar. I'm also on Twitter X, and my handle there is at BobAmin16. That is the at symbol, BOBAMIN 16. Thank you again for tuning in today's broadcast today. I thank you very much. Sportslov